This is an introduction to Adobe InDesign. Lesson 1, whenever you open it up, this is the main screen that you'll see. And the first option you see is this document contains links to sources that have been modified. You can click Update Links and it'll update them automatically. One link will be modified. It'll also pull up another page with missing fonts. With missing fonts, if you're able to, all you need to do is click Find Fonts and sync them. And just as soon as there's a triangle there, you can select it and change all. You can select the other ones and change all. You can choose the font you want to replace it with right here. The standard is Minion Pro. Once you've completed that, all the fonts on the document will change to the ones you have selected. You can click Done. This is your toolbar on the left side. If you hover over the icons, it'll show you the specific options for the tool. This is the selection tool. You can press V on your keyboard in order to use it. This is your direct selection tool. This is your page tool, your gap tool, content collector, and each one of these has a keyboard control on it. Like the type tool is T, the line tool is backslash. Anchor points are for drawing shapes. Pencils, this is your ellipse frame tool, your rectangle tool, your scissors, and so on and so forth. You'll learn about a lot of these and pretty much all of these throughout the school year. In order to move this toolbar, you can click up here, that little gradient, and you can move it whatever direction you'd like. You can also move it back. Once you see the blue on the screen, that's when it's back to the original placing. You can minimize it with the double arrow right here and change views. I prefer the single line. Some people prefer a double line. This over here is your panel for all of your objects and items, such as the Pages panel, the Layers panel, links, and you can add custom pages to this document as well. To this. Up here, well, right now you can see that you'll see this is the type tool. These are your options for your type tool up here. This changes your font size. This changes another proportion of the size. If you hover over all of them, you'll see that's leading, all caps. These are your kerning. This is your tracking. This spaces out the letters themselves. If you click on Shorebird, for example, you'll see the cursor flashing. If you select Shorebird, it'll give you the option to select the entire thing. This O right here, if you click it, it'll give you other options to change fonts. This can be also small caps for Shorebird. I'm going to deselect it right now. This is the preview panel that it's on right now. You can change the panel in two different ways. The first way is you can go to View. Once you've gotten to View, if you come down, you can see Screen Mode. Right now it's in Preview. If you click into Normal, you can see all the different boxes on this page. Another way you can do that is you can go up to here, this Screen Mode, and do it through these. This is the Preview mode originally. This is the normal mode. This section, the gray section on each side, this is called the paste board. You can paste items into it. Like, for example, if you want a text box, you can click and drag and make a text box and make text. If you want, you can use your tools over here. Here's a rectangle frame tool. You click and drag and you can make a rectangle. Also, if you look carefully, there's an ellipse frame tool, there's a pencil tool. If I want to do a line tool, I can also, instead of just selecting the line tool itself, I can press on the slash on the computer keyboard. If I press backslash, you'll notice it changes to the line tool. Also, what's available, you'll notice, say I want another rectangle, but I'm still on the backslash tool. I can press and hold the keyboard shortcut for rectangle frame tool, which is M. I can press and hold M, and it will draw me a rectangle. Or not. If I come up to the selection tool right here, it's all the keyboard shortcut for it is V. I can select, for example, this image right here. I can click and drag it over, and you can see. You can also undo this option by going up to here, going to Edit, Undo, Move Item, or I prefer the shortcut keyboard of Control Z. Control Z 1, 2, 3 times, and it's back to the original. If you select Shorebird, there's options up here of W, X, Y, and Z. This changes the size of the box itself. For example, W is the width. You can change X. That's the distance from center where it normally is. The Y is how up and down. Think of it just like a grid. And here's the H. This is the height of the box itself. These are other options you can choose from. You can also, if you click on a corner of it, you'll see an angled double arrow. That changes the direction of it. I can do Control Z to go backwards. I can slide this up and down, make the box larger if I'd like. You'll notice that if the box isn't large enough, for example, like that, you'll see a red plus sign. That plus sign means there's errors. That means you'll need to fix those errors. If you click on it, you'll see it says Shorebird in small text. And you can click and paste it one more time, and it will automatically paste a Shorebird onto your page. I'm going to Control Z a few times and bring it back to where it was. If you double click on this, you can select the text, and you can change the text font up here. Right now it's Minion Pro. If you click on it, you can use your down arrow, or you can use the arrows right here, and you can go choose other fonts. The Shorebird. You can also change it. For example, instead of the Shorebird, you can do the Trash Gull. If you'd like to change the font color, instead of this burgundy, this is the font color up here. All you need to do is select it and choose a different color. For example, here's a black. If you deselect and click in the pasteboard somewhere, you can see that the Trash Gull is now black. Next, these down here are your pages. One way to go from page to page. If you select the arrow, you can go to page 2. This is the second page of the document, because this is a postcard. This is page 1. You can toggle between the two of them. You can also use this play button, and this play button goes back and forth. You can see these are other options like open another document. Right now we're on a basic pre-flight panel. You can work with different options right now. You don't need to worry about that. This is your errors for pre-flight, which means, hey, there's one error on there. You can open that up and you can see in the pre-flight panel that there's a text error. If you open this, it'll say overset text. Text frame 2. If you double click on it, it'll show you in the document where it is. It shows you right here, there's overset text. Right there. There's a red square with a plus sign in it. We're not going to worry about that at the moment. We're going to keep it as it is. You can close out any of these panel icons by using the X button, or you can minimize it by collapsing it right here with the double arrows. At the moment, all you need to do is put the X, close it out. We're going to go on to another few different options. This over here is your pages panel, your layers panel, your links panel, your effects, objects. If you click on the pages panel, this shows you the 2 pages. You can click on the first page. If you double click on it, it will bring that page up. If you double click on the second page, it will bring up the second page. This is the A master. We'll be getting into this in lesson 2. This is the menu for the pages panel. This is where you can insert pages, duplicate, print masters, view pages. These down here, here's your edit page sizes. You can make custom sizes for your pages. This is where you add and create a new page. In the layers panel, these are the different layers you have. Right now you have one layer, and if you press this little arrow, it'll open up this layer and it'll show you all the different items in this layer. If I press this eyeball, the visibility of the layer vanishes. If I press this eyeball, it vanishes. See my red triangle on the far left side of my page? Rectangle? I can select just this item right here in my layer 1 by clicking on it. I can select this item, my text frame. I can select the, and you can see that there will be white little boxes around it. I can collapse this pages panel, and the layers panel, if there are any missing links, like Shorebird. This image was an online image. If there is an updated image that's more readily available, there will be a yellow triangle right here. If you collapse that and go to effects, these are the effects that are on it right now. There's no special effects on it at the moment. Object styles, we'll get into that later. Paragraph styles, character styles. These items up here, these are the main, this is mainly for the document setup and your presets. This right here helps you with your pasteboards, helps you with your spelling, helps you with your color. This right here helps you with your layout and your margins and columns. The type tool helps you fix your text nice and pretty. Your object, it helps adjust your object itself. Your table, you can make tables and all that. View, this is where you get more clear images. Window, it's mainly for arranging and text wraps and setting up links and the effects. Over here, this is your zoom. You can zoom in and zoom out through here. If you pick 300%, it's going to zoom to 300% on the item that you selected. If you choose 4000%, it zooms into 4000%. At this point, it's 100%. If you want to fit this spread to the window, a keyboard shortcut is Control-Alt-0. If you want to zoom in with a keyboard shortcut, you can do Control+ until you get to the right level of zoom. Or you can do Control- to zoom out. I'm going to do Control-Alt-0 and keep the spread in the window. And then I'm going to come up to View, and I'm going to go I'm going to deselect the item first. Then I'm in the pasteboard, deselect the items. I'm going to use the selection tool, and then I'm going to go up to View, and I'm going to Display Performance, and I'm going to go High Quality Display. You'll notice, if you looked carefully, that the bird becomes a little more clear and less grainy. There is not a second image down here, but we'll get to that point. This right here gives you different options for edges. For example, I can close off any type of empty boxes that are not filled in, like my text box on the left in my paste board. I can get rid of my rulers. Rulers are very helpful. I can get rid of my smart guides if I wanted to. This is your preview, your view panel. This is the setup for the page itself. I prefer the standard setup page. Don't need to publish online or anything. This right here is how you can view your document. These are different types. Here's book. Here's how it would look for book. Here's how it would look for digital publishing. Right now we just need to keep on advanced. Next, I want you to look at window, and in window you can go to workspace, and you can go and you can choose, for example, new workspace. You can title it styles, STYLES, and in that you can click OK. You can go back to window and workspace, and you can reset styles if you wanted to. If you look to the top right over here, you'll see it says styles. This is a new workspace that you created. So any type of defaults that you have over here or over here, it'll save it. If you want to add a panel to this default, for example, let's say you want to add paragraph. A paragraph panel comes up. If you want to add paragraph to this over here, all you got to do is click on it and hold and drag until you see paragraph styles is in blue. What you just did is you just docked paragraph styles and paragraph in the same tab. So if you want to drag this out, you can click and drag, and now you have an entirely new panel dedicated for paragraph styles and paragraph. You can collapse that if you want to, and you can move it back over here. Let's say you don't want effects. You say, hey, I don't really like effects. I don't use it ever. I don't need it. You can click on it. You can drag it out. If you don't want to use any of these, you don't use it very often, then you can just click X. That gets rid of it. There's multiple different options you can choose from in order to add different panel items. Here's my effects again. There's transparency, but it doesn't have it on the panel. These are other options you can choose from. Tabs, glyphs, story, layout, edit, file, different options right there.